Welcome to another episode with your lovely woo woo spiritual self help guide, mentor, content creator, Maria. So, 5D mystics, unlike 4D, know that there's no evil demons possessing anyone, at least this 5D mystic. Why? Because, Christ consciousness. It's called Christ for a reason. Jesus taught me all about how to forgive and love, and God all about what choices to make if ever evil presented itself, which it never did. Which is why at a certain point I was like, hey, God, guess what? The people that use your name, I'm going to say they're actually creating stories now that we have sciences. You never said to remain ignorant and to basically keep on etching in stone stuff. So I'm going to say creationism versus Darwinism equals ignorance, but I respect that. I don't, however, have to, support what is actually the opposite of what you shared, which is my brothers and sisters, I'm here to support each other. So, long story short, this woo woo spiritual lady loves that our activation right now. It's just amazing. So, harmony in the heavens. There's a lot going on here. And what we know, the ones of us who are 5D, is that we have sciences and spirituality. They come together. So I'm a woo mystic because of what? Well, because some people don't actually one channel. They also don't have a relationship with the sphere of consciousness. But I do know the quantum physicists and physicists do. I mean, they're actively going to use AI to prove reality doesn't exist. So that tells you there's a good portion of us who are woo woo completely. And then there's portions of us who stay grounded. I like to do both because it's fun for a 3-year-old. So when you are reliant on your own sense of self worth, it doesn't mean that you go around treating people like a piece of shit. No, in fact, that's the whole point of spiritual awakening. Number one guidance, be self aware and accountable. And maladaptive child behavior is not a demon or a devil. No, no. I'm so sorry that people who still want to use stories from Invisible Land, with this 5D mystic, you come near me with your energy, I'm going to flick you away. And actually, I've had a couple of incidences where I laughed. I laughed and then I cried and then I said, let me light a bunch of candles. And then I said, this is not, no. You know what? I know what's happening. And that's called people who don't know what they're doing. And I know what they're doing. And I'm going to leave it alone because, the people who are reliant on their own sense of self-worth, it's a 1-year-old. I'm not looking for anyone's thumbs up or thumbs down. I have a secure attachment figure. Her name is Mother, and she actually taught me how to be walking with my 2 feet, divine magic right here. Thank you, Mom. So some of us, we don't need to live in pseudo-aliveness because we live in our body. Unlike Pinocchio with the wooden body, which is what, when people follow jackasses, yes, I see them all over YouTube. It's very interesting. So, light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. As I was saying in our short, the answer to your spiritual awakening is not you losing people. Those are Elsa Journey people who are spiritual bypassers. Your third eye, yes, the brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. It's called self-awareness, accountability. Oh, I forgot. I'm attachment trauma informed. That's why I'm the self-help person, because there are those who do self-help. Good. Because they know they're an emotional being. So the ones who say, I don't want to do it, I want life now, they sound like babies to us. They actively sound like babies. And then it's like, you did therapy, you called it sacred, and now you're whining about doing more emotional stuff. You obviously didn't get the memo that you're an emotional being. Oh, but I forget, we have a Zen master who tells you all about the laundry in here. So what am I talking about, Maria? Keep using your brainstem. That way the amygdala enlarges. I'm going to use my prefrontal cortex and the insula enlarges. And I can prove, no, I can't. I can ask the person who informed me that the insula enlarges where he got his data. I'm pretty sure machines know a lot more than hearsay from stories of the ancient times, lacking the education, and therefore they lack imagination. No, they have a buttload of imagination. In fact, they're nightmares. Patrick McNamara, he's a neuroscientist. He's proving that there's a fear receptor in your brain. I mean, gosh darn it, Pinocchio, with your wooden body, are you going to keep lying to yourself? Because your nose keeps growing. And the fairy, well, it's a story for kids. I'm not the fairy. I'm more like, I'm going to turn around and leave because my intellect and my emotional plane is really not stimulated at all by any of those men, women who are Venuses, a goddesses of May. I mean, I have fun. I'm humoring my lovely 5D collective, that's for sure. Anyone who's a smart camper is going to be like, okay, let's go have fun with IHP community people because seriously, we're going to go tease. It's kind of like what I saw these other people doing with when a specific institution decided that they're going to rework what was it again? The word I forget right now, but they reworked this thing, and it makes me laugh too because they're still living like it's the Middle Ages. I swear, anytime I think of them, I'm like, wow, their energy is like a piece of rock, like me going to visit an ancient Harlem or whatever the word is somewhere, and I live right now in an area where for all I know, we might disappear from one day to the next. I mean, but yeah, that's what it feels like. So when you're in touch with energy, those who don't know it, it's okay. They don't have to. I have like so much fun when I'm perceiving anything. So yes, ancient institutions begin for 5D mystic to feel like, whoa, you brought me back in time. I don't want to be here, but then again, I'm not near you, so it's okay. You won't run away. Okay, with that being said, why is the spiritual awakening yours? Because you are spiritual. Thank you, Sadhguru. You're a spirituality process. Let me translate. You're a human being with an ego self. If you get your psyche on par, your thoughts and your emotions, left and right mode. So I love knowing about attachment trauma. Angels are here. You are safe, potent connection. So every person can tap into their angelic frequency. However, love, thank you, Sadhguru, can solve problems? Yes. Compassion can solve problems? Yes, again. And above all, sense can solve problems. Yes, Sadhguru, but you don't know psych education, so you were not able to make a good case for yoga. I will make a good case for yoga, though. No demons come out of your body. No. There's Peter Levine who shares with you where trauma and how it's stored in your, and Bezel Vanderkolk too. I know this is where people think it's imagination. I'm going to say no. We stay away from those people who not only are they negative because they're misanthropists, they want to call humans demons. They mistrust, distrust, and then they want to bring their jackass mouth and manipulate a whole bunch of ancient texts with people who are mystics. And woo is like, well, I know Jesus and God. Yeah, I have my own personal relationship. It's called, what was it? Sense. Yes. So God never said don't learn sciences. Never said anything. And the story that they made up about the knowledge of evil, I found out the knowledge, right? The serpent, yeah, I found out it's a pretend story. You lied to me. Anytime anyone's lying to me now, their word is kaput. And so I don't care what anyone will come and say. No, it's not part of the story. I have reliable sources who told me so. And that's exactly how the flat earthers work too. And so here's the deal though. Do you believe in sciences and spirituality, or do you only want to believe in a group of people that will twist so many different things that right now, even the fact that they want to prove reality is not real, I mean, that's hilarious. I've seen sciences who want to say spiritual is right and science is wrong. Anytime there's a comparison like that, you got a Cusco. What I have is science and spirituality come together. The earth is round. I'm still going to believe in the sun. It's going to go out at some point, and I want to protect the future. That's my sense. So I'm going to work with climate change and try to figure out with the smart entrepreneurs success. Yes, so you can't successfully succeed with this safety behavior because you're actually going to be running out of steam. What people don't understand about distress is that it wears you out completely because, you going into sympathetic and dorsal vagal shut down on and off, and then your amygdala enlarging means your frontal lobes are flopped down, which means you're always up like this. And so while I might be more sensitive because my insula is picking up more around me, I'm going to be using more of my prefrontal cortex. And I do know how to allow emotional release to come out when it wants to, which means I'm not going to accumulate and numb shit and then keep suppressing it and then have charges that, yeah, so there's a whole buttload of other information. This is not provable, any of it. I'm chit-chatting with you all right now. But again, the spiritual awakening of you, it's going to happen if you learn how to be a person like Pacha. Traumatized people, they often have trouble regulating by themselves, but they also have trouble seeking others and taking in the support and regulation of others. Pat Ogden, PhD. Yes, so anyone who has childhood trauma, yes, they don't want to be in safe relationships, and their body isn't even safe until they learn enough good psych education. Say, I don't find it hard to believe, Maria, that my first 3 years of life have anything to do with how I'm leading and how I'm feeling. I know. And that's the beginning. So self-awareness, accountability, regulation. You learn to self-regulate with the primary caregiver and in your household, which is why people who have dysregulated dysfunctional nervous systems, if they get the psych education download, they come and they want healthy self-worth, 5D collective peeps. Okay, so we are here for the love that Jesus taught me. Not the love that other people, they just use textbooks and then they do shit. And I'm gonna hang over your head that I forgave you. Okay, that ain't your higher self, and that's not a duo, by the way. No. So the silence that some of us know is a silence called, yes, love can solve problems, but not if a person's afraid of love because they didn't get love the first year of their life, and then the second and the third. Compassion can solve problems, yes, again, not if they don't have self awareness and they can say, okay, I have an embodied brain nervous system that's dysregulated, and therefore, when I find true love, which is a person who's actually safe, safe haven, secure base, they have healthy self worth, they treat me normal like a human being. It's called decent human being, by the way, but it's more than just a decent human being. So I have the capacity again to be a mystic. It's amazing to perceive my oversoul. And every year when we have ascension energies, there's always the same groups. There's the 5D collective, and then there's the other groups. I'm going to leave the other groups alone because they have used up a lot of our time throughout the years for good reason. At this point, we have a 5D collective, and that's where I'm headed with all of what you can do. It's first, you are the one who can succeed. I can support you for serious self help and personal development for the ones who want to do emotions, because you're not a Pinocchio with a wooden body. And being in survival mode is not needing to be romanticized. I see all these actors, all these famous people doing, oh, I'm not going to make it pretty. I'm going to say anyone can access their own emotional plane if they want to. It's painful for some. And the ones who won't, that's sad. And there's this stupid matter law that I don't even know how to explain yet as a mystic. It's not provable, but that is there. And any smart human being, they will always bring it up. And I'm like, yes, you don't have to keep bringing it up. We acknowledge it. And I'm talking about my masculines, because the masculines are the ones who bring up to the feminine, okay, gonna have to let go of some pieces because that's just how it works. And that's where you understand the law of duality, but with neutrality. And so still, the 3-year-old still pouts at me because I choose love again and again and again, which is not me avoiding other stuff. It's saying, I want that emotion. When the other stuff comes up, I'm going to laugh so I can be happy. And that's called how I want to live my life. So I choose to consistently allow myself to paint a picture because I wake up with my own brain. That's the part of why our life, you can lead it with others. Here's where we want to also read this one. We will always, though, be a not objective viewer, meaning it's a subjective life. Okay, so Ron Siegel, nobody has an objective view, although I don't like these blanket statements, but I understand where he's coming from. And he's a psych D. Okay, all of our views of reality are based on the accumulation of past experiences, most influenced by past hurts. He's talking about those first 3 years of life. It's scary. So imagine when I was in an incubator all by myself for my embodied brain, I'm like, what the hell? It's like a dark room and nobody's there. And I'm a mammal and I'm seeking to know where am I by perceiving another mammal's nervous system. And I can't because I'm in a machine. And then they have cut me off from my twin and my primary caregiver. So this is why preemies and C-sections, for example, Peter Levine informed me in one of my courses, I have scoliosis, for example, and he informed me during one of this, it was a case study that we were learning from with Diane Heller and Peter Levine. I got to learn about how to support people with trauma and attachment styles, bringing it together for relationships, one-to-one, and with people, which is where, again, we want to lead healthy self-worth relationships, and the people who are self-aware, accountable, and want to self-regulate like a mammal will want this. There's plenty of them that are working with their borderline personality lens, their narcissism lens, their psychopathy lens, their sociopathy lens, the ones that you see who are in the evil, Knievel, medieval, they're in the medieval times. They're uneducated, they're ignorant, they continue to be non-bilaterally integrated. They sound more and more to me like jackasses, I swear. I don't even know where to begin or end when I'm analyzing what comes out of their mouth. And while for me, I know that I can sound woo-woo, I know that I'm not woo-woo to the 5D collective. You see, I know who I'm talking to. It's called inspiring human potential. Not let me limit you. No, infinite higher human consciousness potential. If I'm here, so can any other person because it's not a special gift. I'm just using my prefrontal cortex by being curious, open, accepting, and loving. And that's because I got taught by Jesus and God how to be humble and how to forgive. And that's it. And that everyone's my brother and sister. It doesn't change, just got more educated. So the past hurts, those first 3 years of life. Find it hard to believe. Well, you're all implicit memory, and any sensation that comes up, you're going to be freaking out because you didn't get the psych education about if your home was unsafe. Relationships that are safe, they trigger. And you freeze. You freeze because your body is being reminded of that first year of life where it was seeking this very comfort. And this is why empowering yourself is not, the therapist said I'm doing a good job. Since all humans are fucked up, I'm just going to stay avoidant. That's sad. Your poor inner child. Your 1-year-old is never going to see the light of day, and your body's never going to see what? The light of true love, because you decided you're going to give up already on doing what? A little bit of mindfulness and journaling? Because you don't understand. Oh, I'm so sorry. The small steps make a difference, so we need to make it look fancy. Let's make it look fancy, shall we? Have everything you'll ever desire in the life of you. So, long story short, you can feel good in life. You can work with your inner and outer well-being and health. And I know people don't like things that are simple. You know who those people are? They're the same ones who have low self-esteem. The only reason you're going to want to be above anyone is because you feel beneath someone. The minute that you have healthy self-worth and you're relying on it, you're going to be like, we're all equal. And of course, some people pull their weight more than others, but I don't need to be comparing. What I can go do is vote. I can be proactive. I use my time effectively, every second of it. And so this is that part of where we go and we do. We don't need to do the gossip. It's not about people that want to gossip. It's actively saying, you want to tell me you want the world to become a place, then use every second of your life to do so. It's a straightforward equation, unless, I'm so sorry, human suffering, that's right, I forgot. But Maria, all the men and the women and the days. So human beings who grew up and didn't get to their 1-year-old, yeah, they're still whining about the one or a twin flame or a soulmate or basically one human. When I hear that, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm out. I saw those drama queens and kings when I was a kid, and I told them all, there's 8 billion people out there. Why are you whining about one person? Go to an app. Go find a therapist. What is the deal? Oh, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. Let me put a mirror. Reflection. Here you go. Your 1-year-old would like you to pay attention to your nervous system. Do you know how to say, oh, I'm with people that love me. I'm having a good time. Oh, look, let me go and have some other good entertainment. Let me go and do something that I am pleased with. This is how you can live life versus, I want life to start now. It's already started. You're breathing. You actively woke up and breathed it, or however that's worded. So it's very straightforward. The reason people say self-help is crap is because they don't want to help themselves. Yes. So the ones who have childhood developmental trauma, they have good therapists. They tend to not want to go to good therapists. They tend to want to come to my cauldron, quote unquote, and say, hey, Maria, you want to give me an Akashic record reading? But I won't do anything of what the guidance tells me. Hey, Maria, you want to give me a tarot card? I want to know everything, but I'm not going to do what is being told and guided to me. So no person wants to say, you know what, I can do emotions. This is so fun. Oh, look, I can think. How amazing. No, it's all, you want to avoid feelings. No, I actively don't. I actively welcome feelings. I've just chosen to dominate my world with what is happiness. Surprise! Why would I do otherwise? It's silly. Plus, there's 8 billion people out there. There's a human suffering. Zen master tells you all about laundry and all these other human beings who limit consciousness. I say you can be unlimited because this is the beauty. In fact, this is where are you? Here's my angel frequency. So we're going to have a part 2. This is just a random share, no specific point except for you will successfully be yourself when you can rely on your sense of self-worth in self-awareness, accountability, and regulation. You're part of a herd. The true spirituality journey, thank you, spirituality people that called in Daniel Siegel, who got to tell me what spirituality is so I can break it down to people who don't know. It is a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. So some people, they've been concerned that I teach people how to be their self. Why would I want to be myself? Number one, that statement in and of itself tells me your 1-year-old needs you and I can get you home. Number two, because you're beautiful just the way you are, so I lovingly accept you. I will lovingly allow you to have all your mood swings. And oh, wait, what did I respect you? And you're not on a pedestal or beneath me. Twin flame, soulmate, doesn't matter how many certificates you slap in my face. I'm a grown 44-year-old woman with a 3-year-old and 1-year-old who never saw the day of shame. You just ask my lovely mother, and she's happy that I get to be this. She made it that we would know. Go, go. Even in the face of fear, she made me sit on this Ferris wheel so that I could experience it. And I'm like, well, of course I was looking at you. You're my safety net. If I fell down, I would expect you to run and come grab me. My feet are in the air. Why am I flying? I'm not meant to be in the air. And then again, I do love flying. I got to do this parachute thing. I forget what it's called. Okay, so that's a little side note for my lovely viewers and listeners. Oh, and today you have a bonus episode. It came up because of I wanted to make some channeled guidance, but instead we had a conversation. So you can look at the audio podcast. It's all over the place. Spotify is where you could begin. Amazon Music is where you could go. And remember, self-awareness, accountability, regulation. So it's with healthy self-worth people, the ones of us who know how to say, you are not needing my forgiveness in any way, shape, or form. You're not needing to apologize. But of course, if there are things that we know we want to talk about, well, if you have balls, vaginas, and you're a grown human being, you know how to address it, because that's actually what creates the depth of experience of any relationship is, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Let's talk about those areas where we didn't come together and appreciate each other. That's what it's called, to be men, women, and theys, not the gender stereotypes, and not people who don't know how to do this. So we're going to have, again, another episode focusing on relationships, because I support you to be yourself in a way that says, I have a herd. Yes, you deal with uncertainty, unexpected, unwanted from within here with you, your flow, not my flow. That's why self-help works. Only for the emotionally accountable ones and the ones who know, I find it very easy to believe that my first 3 years of life have everything to do with me. And I'm going to go to Pat Ogden and go do sensory motor. Or anyways, we're going to figure out what we can do to help those flop down frontal lobes get back into what we want them to be, because your default mode network can be all hands on deck. Integration of brain is what I'm talking about. And therefore, you're not scanning self or others. So you know self-love, and you know love of others. You know compassion, you know compassion. I'm a person, you're a person. No weapon, no danger. No emotional trigger that I'm going to project at you and then create this story and sit in it. Okay? No, we don't need a story. There's no demons that possess people. There's a brain, and the lovely mental health and mental hygiene and all of the good ones are sharing with you. Again, I focus on personal development, and the spiritual awakening journey is one of a person. The reason spiritual bypassers keep on doing the Elsa journeys, because the show yourself, I'm dying to meet you, they only cry at the end and never get home to their whole 3-year-old, because embodying your whole 3-year-old, it's like this. I'm a person, that's it. You're a person, that's it. What do? You're imperfect, I'm imperfect, we're flawed. You know me better than, no, I know me better than you do, but hey, I'll let you share with me your opinion, because all of that which you say will share with me who you are. I get to know you, piece of consciousness. So self-awareness is this. And it's also Pacha knowing that Cuscos, they don't hear themselves. And what this means is, when you are completely your whole self, I'm a differentiated self, so are you. I have a name, you have a name. Independently from where of my oversoul you are at, or who you are from my entire collective here as a mystic, you have your own life to live, and I have my own life to live. And we will enjoy each other if we want to. Forever. Well, forever is a long time. I know of forever as a piece of consciousness that loves to know my future. And that's because I also know my past. And that's why I'm the woo lady. So we're going to talk about some of that. 5D mystics, come on over. You're really missing out by being on Elsa's journey with the spiritual bypassers and the people who really, they're just making up a whole bunch of shit at this point. With ancient textbooks, we can have a very much different kind of fun when no ancient textbooks, just using some of it to, talk about then like what's happening in the real world with your actual relationships, like people that you meet. Okay, so we'll be back with more. And again, that spiritual awakening, it's you. The success, entrepreneurship, anything, it's you. Again, who wakes up in your brain in the morning? You do. Your brain has a left, and that's the chit chatter, the verbal. The right is what allows everything that's coming up from here to come up. If you can contain it and then make sense of it, that's what you do to get your solo self, your core self, your narrative self, and relational self, and your child parts together. And that's why, again, to do one-to-one mentorship, that supports you to get ownership of those emotions and the window of tolerance, if there is any, to expand it. But we want to make sure that we know what relationship do we have with all of those emotions. Are there any keys that are stuck? There are keys that are stuck, then we're going to know that we want to have our therapist on call in case we need anything extra, because there are a lot of different areas when it comes to your mental health and hygiene, and people who are more experienced. I'm attachment trauma educated, informed, plenty of hours, certificates, buttloads more coming in. But we have the ones who, that's 30 plus years. Dr. Daniel Siegel is my go-to call, number one. Then there's Bezel Vanderkolk, number two. But Dr. Dan, he's got an extensive network. He cares about what he does, and so do a lot of other people. The ones who are dividing human beings, they care about what they want to see, which means that they have a book, they've written it, and they want their book. And that to me is, what is it, Ron? Nobody has an objective view. All of our views of reality are based on the accumulation of past experiences, most influenced by past hurts. Yes, they're all non-bilaterally integrated. The ones who are being angry at each other, they don't believe that humans are good or kind or loving, and they're a human. So the minute you're going to tell me that you don't believe in humanity, you don't believe in yourself. I'm going to hear what you have to say. I'm already going to know whatever you're saying is tainted. It's tainted with hurt. Mine is tainted with, I'm a person who has wishful thinking. No, I can be objective. I've chosen the path that is. I see love anywhere I turn, and if it's suffering, I take that shit and I make manure out of it, and here you go, here's a flower. It's not negating it. I created a relationship with emotions, why it's not laundry. That's insulting to my emotional plane that you call it laundry, Zen master, and you're a Zen master. That to me in my left mode, I'm like, obviously he can't hear very well, or maybe he doesn't learn about attachment trauma, so he's not putting his heart open. Oh wait, I also got told you can't always be on. Excuse me, I thought you learned about the prefrontal cortex. Why wouldn't you be on? Why are you turning off? Don't you know how to do the objective Jacob personality? So this is the part about Jacob. What I'm sharing with you is the inner growth mindset. You use your prefrontal cortex. You put your left foot in. Okay, chit chatter, shut up for a minute. Okay, what's coming up? And so FYI, as we close on out, I had this release. I don't even know why or what came up, but just all of a sudden, I'm having one of my moments. And my lovely younger sister, she's really good. And so she gets me to do that breathing that any one of you who's done somatics. So the big belly, because sometimes I will hold my breath. We all do. So anyways, all of a sudden I'm just breathing and I got tears coming out and I'm trying to say, I don't know what this is. There's nothing that's happened in today. Maybe it's hormonal, and we're just laughing. And as she tries to share her thoughts, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Come up, come out, release. There you go. Okay, here we are. Let me continue my evening. That's how we handle emotions. It's not a big deal. Even the panic attacks. We don't care when some people say, but your life's so perfect. How do you have them? Well, I don't know. Actually, no, I do know. I'm just not going to go into depth of explanation because I'm not the science person who can give you the in-depth version. I could go call them, but I think they're busy with, more important things than trying to explain to people who don't believe that we have trauma charges. I'm just saying. So welcome aboard for all of those of you who are new. If you stick around, like, share, and subscribe. If you know anyone who wants to do emotions with self-help, personal development, with the woo-woo spiritual lady here, and for my 5D mystics, come on over again. It's fun with Claire's. And as somebody who noticed, they said, okay, so the more you expand, the more this stuff happens. And I'm like, yes. So, yeah, that's okay. I know that some people will stop that expansion because it is your energy body expanding. And that's the part of where no matter how many times you try to tell people, they're going to call you woo-woo and they're going to say you're making it up. And a mystic's going to be like, I'm not making shit up. But it's okay. You don't experience it. It's okay. You don't perceive it. You don't have the relationship with Akash. I have the relationship and it's not provable, which is what I love about the true sciences and the true spirituality. They come together. And that's because sciences too knows that 97% of what is out there is unavailable, which is why they're going about their business trying to prove that reality isn't real. Some of those academics, it's going to be fun to see what they come up with this AI. So again, thank you for stopping by. We'll be back in a little bit.